And that was a disgraceful performance, in my opinion. We threw that game. We gave it away by doing that. We gave them the friggin' game. In my opinion, that sucked. What's that? Playoffs? Don't talk about playoffs. You kidding me? Playoffs? I just hope we can win a game.
Oh, I miss you so. NFL, when you left, there was a hole in my soul. Now it is home until the Super Bowl.
Hey YouTube, yes, we're doing another episode, week 6 episode of Let's Have Some Football. And I'm mainly doing this because I wasn't going to do any more because our knockout contest was done. But my channel's really, not a lot of people watch my channel, so you know what, I'm having fun doing these. And I want to see how long into the season I can go picking a knockout winner. This year's been pretty easy, I think, but I just want to see, is it possible to get through a season picking a survivor / knockout team every week, and with the rules set in place of you can only use a team once. It's kind of fun, and I'm going to keep going. So, you know, and like I said, nobody's really watching this channel nowadays anyway. Very few people, but I appreciate the ones that do. Shout out to fans of the channel. And you know what? I can do stuff that I want. When you have a nice small channel, you can just do content you like. It's called YouTube, you know? Alright, so this week, I'll go ahead and pick the games just like I did last week, and then I will tell you my official knockout / Survivor League pick. Okay, so we got the Thursday night game, which is tonight. I'm filming this on Thursday, but I'll be showing this video on Friday. So I cannot pick one of these two teams. So we got Eagles at the Giants. I'm talking about for my official knockout pick. I can't use one of these teams. Eagles at the Giants. The Eagles are going to win this game. The Giants, they looked really good when Jackson Dart first got that job, but they're coming back to earth very quickly. I like the Eagles. The Eagles are going to be mad because they lost last week. And they'll probably really double down on the just, you know, doing tons of tush pushes and just being annoying like the Eagles are. Broncos at the Jets. This is the Sunday morning game in London. A lot of games in international places this year. I don't know if we've had one every week, but it seems like last 3 or 4 weeks we have. Broncos at the Jets. Maybe this is because the NFL is like, oh, we're getting people to watch games at like 8 o'clock in the morning now on Sunday. So let's trot out these Europe games. Broncos at the Jets. It used to be like one game a year. Now it's like every week now, seemingly. Broncos at the Jets. I like the Broncos in this one. The Jets are really having some struggles. Now for the regular time, noontime games. Cardinals at the Colts. I think the Cardinals knocked a lot of people out of their knockout leagues last week. And I think they lost to Tennessee. But the Colts will have no problems here. This will be a popular knockout pick, is taking the Colts over the Cardinals. Chargers at the Dolphins. Man, the Chargers have played really bad. Since that opening game beating the Chiefs in Brazil, they have not played good. Losing to bad teams. I mean, maybe not bad teams, but just teams that they shouldn't be losing to, I'll just say. So what does that say about the Chiefs, right? Chargers at the Dolphins. I think the Dolphins are going to win. Just because the Chargers just seem to be a bad road team. Patriots at the Saints. I'll go New England in this one. New England seems to be playing really well. And they even beat Buffalo last week. That had to knock some people out of their knockout leagues. Browns at the Steelers. I definitely think the Steelers will win this. The Steelers had a bye week, so they're well rested. They'll be at home. The Browns are going. They looked better last week. They probably should have beat the Vikings in London, but I think the Steelers will win this. Cowboys at the Panthers. The Cowboys are quietly having a decent season, and who would have thought that? But that defense is bad, man. Without Micah. I mean, it's more than just not having Micah, but I think the Cowboys will win this. The Carolina Panthers are okay, but they're not like a juggernaut or anything. Seahawks at the Jaguars. Jacksonville's playing really well. They outplayed the Chiefs, and the Chiefs actually played a good game, but Jacksonville beat them fair and square. It was I was really surprised. I figured if the Chiefs were going to lose that game, then it was because their offensive line was terrible or they couldn't move the ball. But Chiefs really did well both sides of the ball and just got beat. And Jacksonville's for real. I'll take Jacksonville in that one. Rams at the Ravens. Ooh, man, the Ravens are really having some struggles with these injuries. And if they lose to the Rams, this is at Baltimore too, by the way, they'll be 1-5. So I think they got a bye week next week. Maybe they want to rest up, make sure Lamar's back to full strength when they come back from the bye. I think the Rams win this because I think the Ravens really need to get Lamar back to full health. So I'm going to pick the Rams in that one. Titans at the Raiders. Now we're at the 3 o'clock window. The Titans at the Raiders. I think it was kind of fluky that the Titans won last week. I'll pick the Raiders, even though the Raiders have been terrible. I got to go Raiders in that game, being at home. Bengals at the Packers. This one has a huge point spread, I will mention. Green Bay is more than a 2-touchdown favorite in this game. 14.5 point favorite. Like, you never see that in the NFL. And the Packers haven't really played like crazily good. They're 2-1-1. But that just shows you how little respect the Bengals have. Since losing Joe Burrow, man, they have really struggled. And they turn to Joe Flacco now. They picked up Joe Flacco from the Browns. And I'll have to agree. I think the Packers will win that game. The Packers defense is going to be all over Joe Flacco. 49ers at Tampa Bay. Both these teams are 4-1. This is a really good game. I actually think Tampa Bay will find a way to win. They usually find ways to win games with Baker. I think they win this one. And then we have Lions at the Chiefs. This is going to be a great game. It may not seem like it with the Chiefs having a 2-3 record, but I think it's going to be a really good game, and I'm super excited for it. It's a Sunday night game. Obviously, Chiefs fan. I'm pretty nervous right now. I'm not panicking because they look better than they did last year. It's just they're not winning these games. These are games they won last year, so they'll tighten things up. I think they beat the Lions. And maybe that's homerism, but we are at home, prime time. We lost to them famously a couple years ago. Maybe it's 3 years ago. And that was at Arrowhead. I don't think Lions are going to go in there and beat us again in Arrowhead. There'll start to be a little bit of cracks of some fans starting to panic if they lose that. I'm going Chiefs in that one. And then Monday night, we have 2 Monday night games. It's kind of weird that the NFL is doing this because they're not like spreading the games out very much. They're just putting 2 games on Monday night. And it's weird that Disney owns ESPN and ABC, yet the games are kind of going on at the same time, so they're kind of splitting their audience. So I don't really understand why they're doing this, but hey, maybe something's working. The first game, Bills at the Falcons. I think the Bills got their comeuppance. They've been playing really sloppy and against worse teams, and they were playing sloppy at home even, and I think that was a wake up call. Like, hey, you guys need to focus, and I think they take it out on the Falcons, and the Bills win that game. Bears at the Commanders. I think this is a sneaky, really interesting game because last year this was an amazing game where it was Caleb Williams and Jaden Daniels as rookies going head to head, and Jaden Daniels had that incredible Hail Mary play. That was probably the play I remember most from last year. I actually was watching that game live because my game ended and they did the cutaway to that game. Incredible finish. I think Jaden Daniels and the Commanders do win this one as well. But I think it's going to be a really good game. That's a good Monday night game right there. All right, so that's my just regular picks. My fantasy team, we're having struggles right now. We're 2-3. We went up against the biggest, toughest team in the league last week, and even though we did really good, they had a monster week because they're just loaded, and we got beat. So this week we're playing a division rival. I don't know. We're usually built around the Baltimore offense, and since Baltimore's in shambles, our team's kind of struggling. But I do have a pretty deep team, so maybe we can pull one out this week. I'm going with. I'm thinking about going with Caleb Williams as my starting quarterback this week, with question marks around Lamar and the Ravens, but we'll see. And my official knockout league pick. So just as a review, week 1. I didn't bring my sheet down here, but this is week 6. I've used several teams. Man, that stinks that I didn't bring my list down here. But my official knockout / Survivor League pick, I have not used them yet. I'm picking Green Bay. I think they're a shoe-in to win this week. And well, I shouldn't say that. They lost to the Browns earlier this year and tied with Dallas earlier this year. But this is at Lambeau. They played really well. At Lambeau earlier this year. Their defense should dominate this game. I think that is going to be a very popular Survivor League pick. They're favored by more than 2 touchdowns. Like, come on. You just got to pick one team to win. I have not used Green Bay yet, so I'm going to use Green Bay as my official knockout league pick. So that is my official pick. And if you're in a knockout league, that probably is a good team to use if you haven't used them yet, because they really should not have a problem with the Bengals. But nothing's a guarantee in the NFL. All right, so let's have some football. Thank you, people who have watched the channel for all these years. I know our channel has had a lot of we put a lot of videos up over the years, but man, we're definitely not in any type of algorithms. I can tell you that, because the views are kind of struggling. But anyway, thank you for watching. Stay tuned for more videos, and let's have some football. And big shout out and thank you to viewers of the channel for supporting the channel over the years. Later.